Very, very good afternoon to everyone who has dialed in or who will be listening to this later on. I'm so happy to be here and to be talking about this program called Career Reboot, which we have put together especially for all of you amazing women out there who are going to be restarting their careers. So this is a program that we've designed specifically with all of you in mind. So we really hope this is something that's going to be impactful for you. So what I'll do today, let me take you through the agenda really quickly. The first thing we'll do today, which we'll spend a bulk of the time doing, is giving you an overview of the program. So what is this program all about? What is it likely to do for you? Why should you enroll in a program like this? And all of that good stuff. So we'll talk about that. Then the second thing we'll do, which I'm really excited about doing, is giving you a sneak peek into the program. So you have a small taste of what a program like this could offer you. So we'll be sharing a really, really critical tool from one of the modules in the program, which we're offering it up to you for free today. So I do hope that'll be of value to you. And then finally, we'll open it up to any questions that you might have. So I'm more than happy to answer any of those questions. So let's get started. Career Reboot is a 5-week online program that is designed to help all of you women that are looking to restart their careers after a career break, build the clarity and the confidence to really redesign and create a career that feels authentic and meaningful to you, unleashes your highest potential, and allows you to make an impact in the world on your own terms. So this program is a 5-part program, as you can see on the screen: recharge, realign, reframe, rebuild, and restart. And I'm going to take you through each of these 5 elements and explain briefly what each one of them is going to be all about. So, outcomes for the program. What can you expect at the end of this 5-week-long program? Well, here are some of the objectives that we have designed this program with that we hope you can walk away with at the end of 5 weeks. Number 1, we'll help you create fun and energizing ways to balance all of the multiple roles that you will now be playing in your life and career. So you're adding one more thing, one more role to all of the roles that you're already playing, but how can we make it fun and energizing for you? And allow you to really create a strong foundation for feminine leadership. And I will be talking a little bit more about this later on, so I'll explain more later. Secondly, we want you to really be able to identify the values and vision that you derive the greatest meaning and fulfillment from, because only when you do that can you really create or recreate a career that is on your own terms and that feels true and authentic to you. And we'll talk more about that later as well. Thirdly, this program, and really a bulk of this program, is designed to help you gain that confidence that might have been shaken up during all those years or all that time when you were taking a break. How do you tap into that confidence that's already there inside you and overcome any limiting beliefs, doubts, anything that might be standing in your way of restarting that great career that awaits you? So we'll definitely focus a lot on that. Fourthly, we'll help you rebuild the kind of skills and especially the kind of support network that you're really going to need that will help you succeed in this new phase of your life. So we'll spend some time going over that as well. And then finally, we want to really get you to that point where you are ready to take off. So we get you, basically the goal is to get you to that starting line where you are like, I am ready, I am excited, I am all geared up to restart my career, and let's do this. So everything in this program is really geared towards getting you to that starting line, after which the hope is that you will have just all of the confidence and all of the preparation and all of the skills necessary to really put your best foot forward. So these are the outcomes for the program, and I'll explain more about each of these in a moment. So the format of this program, the way this program is designed, so it is an online program, which means it gives you a lot of flexibility. We've designed 5 modules that will be shared with you over 5 weeks, 1 module at a time, 1 module per week. And the content of the program is going to be delivered to you through a mix of videos, audio lessons. We'll have a lot of worksheets, self-reflection exercises, and all kinds of things for you to do on your own. And really the beauty of this program, and the reason why we've designed it with this format in mind, is to give you the most amount of flexibility. So you can do this on your own time. You can spend as much time as you like in a single day or a single week. And really, there's no way for you to fall behind, because all of the information will be there at your fingertips. So you can definitely, whenever you get the time and the chance, access all of the materials for this program and go through the program. Secondly, we're going to have each week, based on the theme or the module for that week, we're going to have a lot of video interviews with guest experts. And I'll talk more about this shortly as well when we explain each of the modules in the program. Thirdly, we've also included lots of case studies of other women, other restarters who have restarted their career and how they have applied a lot of the concepts that we'll be going over in this program successfully. So you'll actually have a chance to learn from your peers and see how they have used some of these concepts to their advantage. The fourth thing, and I personally think this is actually a really powerful aspect of the program, is that when you sign up for this course, you are going to be paired up with another participant. So you will not be going through this program on your own. You will, in fact, and the reason why we are going to be partnering you up or giving you a buddy to go along with for this program, so that you really feel like you both have the support that you need to go through this program, and B, also the motivation as well, because that person, your buddy or your partner, will basically be both your motivation buddy as well as your accountability partner. Someone who will give you that encouragement that you're looking for every step of the way, but equally will help you stay accountable, will help you ensure that you are staying on track with the program and taking all of the actions necessary to move you forward. So that's a really important part of the program. Then we're also going to have 2 live group coaching calls. So it's not like you will completely be on your own with no help from us whatsoever. We are going to have 2 live group coaching calls where, similar to this in fact, where you will actually get a chance to ask any questions that you have. If you're feeling stuck or need some additional support, we'll be there to give you that kind of support. And of course, those calls will be recorded. So if you're not able to join us for those calls, you will still have access to all of the information. Then we'll also going to create a private Facebook for all of you who enroll in the program, so that that'll be another platform for you to connect with one another, connect with us who will be facilitating the program, so you can ask us any questions there. But really a great platform for you to continue to support each other and learn from each other as well. And the time commitment we're looking at is about 4 to 6 hours a week, or the way you can think of it is like really no more than an hour a day. So we really designed this to be sensitive to your time and not make you feel overwhelmed with the amount of the scope of this program. So it's very, very doable. All you need is an hour a day max, and that should be enough for you to really gain a lot from this program. So let me very quickly, introduce the company and myself, and tell you why we are really excited about this program and why we've created this program. So Shenomics is a mindful leadership platform for aspiring women, and we've been around for about over 3 years at this point. And a bulk of our work has been with working with leading companies, leading Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, and designing and delivering very customized leadership development and professional development programs for women, to basically allow women to really fulfill their highest professional potential in the workplace. And that could be different things for different women. So whether for some women it may mean going to the highest ranks, for others it's just showing up as their best professional selves in the workplace. We've accumulated so many incredible insights and learnings from the work that we've been doing over the last 3 years with working women. We thought, why not take a lot of those learnings and take a lot of those best practices and share it with women who are looking to join the workforce, because it can, all of those skills and best practices can equally be very, very beneficial to all of you out there as well. And to introduce myself briefly, so I like to call myself a global citizen. I grew up in 6 different countries. The US is where I ended up spending the most amount of time. So I have about a 9-year corporate career on Wall Street in New York, working for various financial companies. My most recent role was with a company called Lazard, where I was a vice president for sales and marketing. And then I got my business school degree from New York Stern School of Business, New York University Stern School of Business. And right around that time, after I finished my business school degree, I sort of hit what I now call an existential crisis, or a pre-midlife crisis, where I basically started asking myself, was I really living and leading a life that was meaningful to me? And was I really leading a career that was meaningful to me? And the answer to all those questions was actually no. It didn't feel authentic to me. It didn't feel real to me. It didn't feel meaningful to me. And I knew that I had to realign my life and really get it on track to becoming more meaningful to me personally, or I knew I would always regret it. And therefore, at the time, I made the dramatic decision of quitting my very cushy, very comfortable career in finance at the time, and making the decision to move to India. And so one thing I have in common with all of you listening is that I also took a career break. Though I didn't take it for having children, I took it because I was really interested in really passionate about really reinventing myself. So I moved to India about 5 years ago, and I spent close to 2 years really experimenting with a number of different things, at the end of which I discovered that what I was really passionate about was helping other women, that this whole space of women's leadership and empowering working women is something that I deeply care about, and this is what I really was going to design my life and my career around. And so therefore I started this company called Shenomics. And as I said, for the last 3 years, we've been really been very, very fortunate to work with an incredible group of women, and helping them just as I was fortunate to do, helping other women reinvent themselves and design a career for themselves that really feels true and meaningful to them. So that's all about me, and of course you can read more about me on our website as well, shenomics.com. So I won't go too much further into my own bio here, but let's dive into this program. So as I said, we have created a 5-week program. Week 1 is what we're calling Recharge. Week 1 is all about helping you build a new relationship with yourself. And we are going to do this in 3 different ways. One is we really want you to, we want to get you to ask yourself what gives you happiness. Because if you are going to be embarking on this journey where you are going to be restarting your career, you don't want to do that from a place of stress or a place from anxiety, or any kind of negative space whatsoever. I meet a lot of women who, when they do talk about restarting their careers, I sense a lot of anxiety and stress in their voice. And that's really no way for us to create, that's not a good space for us as women to create anything. Let alone our career. So what we want to do is create a lot of positive energy and happiness in our life right from the get-go, and really recreate our careers from that happy place. So the first thing that we're going to do is get all of you to think about what is your personal definition of happiness, because all of the research is telling us it's the more you focus on your happiness, the more likely you are going to be succeed in your career. And it's not the other way around. It's not that once you are successful, you will be more happy, but really focusing more on your happiness is what is going to give you that energy, that confidence, to create that dream career that you're aspiring towards. So we're going to do a lot of work on that. Secondly, and this is where we're going to have a really fantastic guest expert helping us, an energy management expert who is going to help us figure out how can you create those really positive, energizing rituals in your life right now, not after you have a career, but right now, that are going to continue to give you that positive energy throughout your day, throughout your week, so you can tap into that energy to really go after that career that you're looking for. And what we're saying, step into feminine leadership, because when we go back into the workforce, we are using a lot of masculine energy, and as women, it is very important that we we tap into the masculine energy that we have, but equally we don't forget about that feminine energy we have as well, and that we take care of that and we replenish that. So we'll be doing some work around that as well. And then thirdly, also helping you figure out what are all the important steps that you can take to accommodate this new role into your life. So let's not have you wait until after you start that job or after you start that career for you to make whatever changes you need to make. But really, let's start making those steps today. So if you need to figure out childcare, if you need to figure out how to manage your time differently, what is really going to help you do all of that today, even before you restart your career, so that when that happens, you actually feel fully ready and there's really nothing stopping you. Because we've seen plenty of cases where women have waited until they find that position to take all those steps, and for a lot of people that's too late. And if you get roadblocks at that time, then it's much more complicated and cumbersome to deal with those challenges at that point. So those are the three things we'll focus on in week 1. Week 2 is called Realign, and this is a really, really powerful module, and probably I would say among among the most important, if not the most important module in the entire program, because this is really where we get you to reflect in a very, very deep way. What is the kind of woman that you would like to be? Because the clearer you are about who you are, what is important to you, what are your values, what are you passionate about, what are your strengths, then the more clarity you will have about what kind of career or sort of professional work that's really going to align with who you are. Because the most beautiful thing actually about being on a break is that now you have the full flexibility and the full freedom to really go and do, sort of reinvent yourself in any way you like. You don't have to go back and do what you were doing earlier, right? You are a different woman today than you were before you took a break. So let's really dive deep and think about, who are you today? What is your definition of success today? Because your priorities have clearly shifted. So how do you define success today? What are your strengths? What are your values? What are your needs? What are your passions? And how can you then really also tap into your own inner wisdom as a source of guidance and clarity in your life and career? So how do you, and in fact today, one of the free resources that we're going to share with you today is a very powerful framework that we can use as women to make critical decisions in our lives at any point. So we'll be happy to share that with you later today. But really the whole point of this module is getting you clear, getting you aligned or realigned with the kind of career you would really like to step into based on the woman that you are today, so that you really make the right choice. Because since you do have the freedom to make that choice, let's make the right choice so that you can embark on a career that feels meaningful and true and authentic to who you are. Week 3 is what we're calling Reframe. And this also is a very, very powerful module, because this is where actually we're going to focus a lot on helping you rebuild your confidence. Because if there's one common theme that we've observed with women who've taken a break and are now looking to restart their careers, the biggest roadblock more than anything is not a lack of skills. It's not a lack of opportunities. It's really, you know, a lack of belief, I suppose you can say, or a lack of confidence in one's own abilities to do that. And so, how can we make those mindset shifts that are necessary for us to, you know, really sort of put our best foot forward and really show up as our best, most confident selves to approach this challenge. So we're going to have, again, we're going to have 2 really amazing guest experts who are going to help us with this module as well, both of whom are have expertise in going after those negative thoughts, those limiting beliefs, those fears, negative thoughts, all of those things that typically get in our own way. So if you are applying for a position and there's a voice inside you that says, no, I don't think, I'm not sure if I can apply for this, I'm not sure if I'm qualified enough, or I'm not sure if I'm ready, I'm not sure if I have what it takes, what if you know, what if I cannot handle it? What if people judge me? What if my family is not as supportive? Basically, taking the sum total of all of those negative thoughts that might be going through your head on any given day, how can you take control of all of those thoughts and basically turn them around so that they don't get in your way? And so there are 2 very powerful tools that we're gonna cover in this week. One for identifying that critical voice in your head, which we call the inner critic. So how do you build a more positive and healthy relationship with that inner critic so it doesn't get in your way? And secondly, we're going to share with you a really powerful framework to reframe and basically overcome any kind of negative thought that you might have. So reframe is week 3, and it's a very, very powerful module as well. Week 4 is rebuild, because now that you are getting ready to restart that career, there are a certain set of skills that are going to be particularly useful. And the 4 that we are really going to focus on in this week are: 1, personal branding. So how can you really create a very, very powerful personal brand for yourself by clarifying what we call the why, what, and how of your own brand, so that you are really sending a very powerful signal to people who may want to hire you or people who may want to work with you. A brand that really speaks for you, a brand that really positions you in the best, most confident light that you would like to position yourself in. So personal branding is very, very critical. We're going to spend some time on that. We'll spend some time on briefly on your ability to communicate that brand as well. So what is going to be your elevator pitch that will allow you to make a very compelling and strong impact on whoever you speak to, whether it's people you're reaching out for help, whether it's people you are interviewing with, or basically or networking with. It could be anyone whom you are trying to influence. What is really the most effective way you can talk about yourself in? So that we'll spend some time on that. We'll spend some time on personal presence. So here again, we have a fantastic guest expert who is going to really help us decode what does it mean for us as women to have a strong presence in terms of both our body language as well as our personal style. So when we are meeting with someone, when we are networking, or we are going for that interview, how can we create the most memorable and the most impactful impression on the people that we are interacting with? How can we really have that confident presence? So that's the third thing we'll focus on in this week. And then finally, the fourth thing, which we found is also very, very valuable, is networking. So how can you really network in the most effective way possible? So we'll go over several powerful techniques that will allow you to attract and build those relationships with your peers or potential mentors or advisors or people that you would like to work with, so that they are, they have a positive impression on you and they are motivated to help you as well. So we'll talk about that as well. So those are the four things we'll focus on in week 4 in Rebuild. And then finally, by week 5, the hope is that you're basically really at that starting point where you feel like you have, you now have the energy and all of the sort of, you have the energy to go after this new career that you are going after. You are clear about exactly what kind of career you want to go with, in particular a career that aligns well with the woman that you are today in terms of your values, strengths, and passions. 3, there's no negative thoughts whatsoever that are holding you back. You are actually stepping forward with all the confidence in the world. And 4th, you also have the sort of the critical skills that are really going to allow you to put yourself in the best, put yourself forward in the best light. So by week 5, we're really hoping that we're getting you to that starting point, after which you can really just go forward with all the confidence. But in week 5, what we are going to help you with is create a very personalized action plan for yourself, so that can then be your guide for the coming weeks, and you can basically keep coming back to that whenever you are stuck about what you should do next. So 1 will help you create an action plan. 2, as we said earlier, in each of the weeks you're going to be working with a buddy. So along with working with a buddy or a partner, what are some of the other measures you would need to put in place so that you continue to take the steps necessary towards restarting that career? And then thirdly, and this is going to be very, very valuable, we're basically distilling all of the insights that we've gathered in doing our work with working women, and sharing with you the most sort of effective way you can ensure that when you do get that role, what are the most, what are the 1, 2, or 3 things you absolutely must do in your first 90 days in that new career? So what are the most effective things that are really going to help you basically set a very strong foundation for yourself in this new career? So those are the 5 weeks. And of course, if you have any questions on any of these, I'm happy to answer those. So that's the program. Now, as I promised in the beginning of the webinar, one thing we want to share with you today as a giveaway and also as a sneak peek into the program is one of the tools, one of the many, many tools that we're going to be using in this program to help you get more clarity and confidence. And one of them that we want to share with you today is actually one of my most, definitely among my favorite frameworks, is what we call a mindful decision-making framework, which is relatively simple, but incredibly powerful. So let's talk about this. And this is something we'll be covering in week 2, which is the realign module. So for everyone who has dialed in, try this as an experiment. So I want all of you listening to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I want you to visualize for a moment that this is your 60th birthday. So, which for some of you may be 10 years away, 20 years away, 30 years away. But this is your 60th birthday. And this is a time, a day in your life when basically all of your loved ones have gathered to celebrate the incredible life and career that you have lived. So your family is there, your children are here, present here to celebrate this incredible occasion with you. You may even have some colleagues there or your boss. So really use your imagination and picture this day in your mind. This is your 60th birthday, and really sort of towards the end of your career where everyone has gathered to celebrate this momentous day in your life. And you are going to hear 3 different speeches from 3 people who have been invited, all people who are close to you, and who are going to be speaking about the incredible impact you have made on them, and the reason why you have made such a strong impact on them and on everyone around, in fact. So as you keep your eyes closed and you're visualizing this day, this joyous day of celebration towards the end of your career, I want you to really think about, what do you want people to say about you on this day? So if there were 3 people who could say anything about you on this day, who would those 3 people be? Would it be your spouse? Would it be one of your children? Would it be a colleague or a boss at the time? Who would those 3 people be, and what would you want them to say about you? What would you want them to say about the woman that you are and the way that you lived your life and the way that you lived your career? What is it that you would want them to be most proud of you for? So in particular, if there were 3 qualities that you would really want everyone to know you for, what would those be? So just keep your eyes closed, and for the next few seconds, just think about, what are those 3 qualities or values that you would want everyone to know you for? And just let whatever thoughts come to your mind right away. Just accept whatever thought comes right away. So for some of you, those may be things like honesty, love, courage, integrity. Depending, it'll be different for different people. But really reflect on, at the end of your life and career, what are the 3 things that you really want to be known for? And when you have those 3 qualities, you can open your eyes. So this what we've just done, and this was a shortened version of what we'll be covering in the Real Line module of the framework. We're going to dive into this much more deeply in the program, but this is what we call a mindful decision framework. And with this framework, we're getting you to answer 3 questions. Question number 1, what kind of woman do I want the world to know me for? Specifically, what are the 3 values that I want to be known for? Number 2 is whatever action. So this framework is very useful whenever you're feeling stuck. So the second question, whenever you're feeling stuck or are unsure or feeling a lack of confidence or any of those things, what you want to ask yourself in that moment is the action I'm about to take consistent with the woman I want to be? For example, so let's say the 3 values that you want to be known for are honesty, courage, and love. So you're applying for a position and you're not sure if you are ready or you're not sure if you should apply for it. Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. What would the woman who stands for honesty, courage, and love do in this situation? Would she apply or would she not apply? And just by asking yourself this question, and what we found with, in fact, a lot of women, is that just by asking yourself that question, you get the answer or the confidence that you need to take the action that you need to take. And then finally, if the answer is yes, the woman who stands for honesty, courage, and love is someone who is going to not even think twice, but go ahead and apply for that position anyway, then the question is, what is the smallest action I can take right now? And this is something we focus a lot on in this program as well, is action. So rather than meditate on what I should do, how can I continue to take those small steps necessary that keep moving me along in the right direction? So these 3 questions are very, very powerful questions, and 3 questions that you can ask yourself at any point whenever you are feeling stuck. So that's the mindful decision-making framework, which we'll be talking a lot more about in week 2. So again, just to wrap up, so this is Career Reboot. And as I said in the beginning, it's a 5-week online program that's really designed to help you get all of the clarity and all of the confidence you need to take those steps necessary towards that career of your dreams, and create a career that really feels true and meaningful to you. So those are the 5 modules that I just went over: recharge, realign, reframe, rebuild, and restart.
Thank you for attending the webinar. Thank you, Bhavna.